Okay, everybody, in today's lesson, I want to do something just a little bit different. I'm going to show you how to download and install your own version of Anaconda. So Anaconda is going to have the Spider IDE. IDE is short for Integrated Development Environment. It's going to have that. It's going to have Jupyter Notebooks and a few other nice tools for you to get immersed with Python and learn all the ins and outs and nuts and bolts of everything related to the world of Python. Okay, so you can see here, I don't have this installed right now. I actually had it installed. I just uninstalled it just to show you step by step how everything works. Okay, so we see Anaconda is not installed. I'm going to download it and install it right now. So I'm going to enter this as a Google search term, install Anaconda Windows, pretty straightforward. If you have Windows 10 or 11, I think it's exactly the same thing. I have Windows 11, and I don't think it matters. We can go over here to free download in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, and I'm going to skip registration. There's no reason to register this. So here we have Windows. This is what I'm going to be using today, 912 megs. If you have Mac or Linux, obviously pick the appropriate one, right? Like I have this one, so I'm going to go with it. And that, I think I just canceled that thing. Let me close that out. Clear preview panel. Okay, so it will be downloaded in just over a minute, give or take here. So it's easy. Just Google it. You should go exactly where you need to go and should get what you need to get, right? It's pretty straightforward. I found this article just before starting the video. I can take you through this. This is probably going to change over time, right? The internet is very dynamic and constantly evolving and improving, hopefully for the better. Sometimes it's maybe devolving in some cases. Hopefully it gets better more than it gets worse. I think sometimes it does get worse though. So anyways, this page might exist. If you look for it, it might not exist in the near future. Who knows? Just do a simple Google search, see what comes with Anaconda and what can you do with it and what's the purpose of getting this integrated development environment and what can we do with it, right? So it's talking about Anaconda is a distribution that bundles Python and R along with 1,500 packages. So right there off the bat, you have 1,500 packages that come pre-installed. That's pretty nice. If you just get the basic Python, you probably have nothing installed, right? So this comes with 1,500 pre-installed packages, and these are going to be the more popular ones: Jupyter Notebook, NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and so on and so forth. Those are just four, right? You have 1,500, so you have quite an extensive list to start with. And I'm just wondering, this thing is almost done. I wonder how many libraries there are. Go off on a tangent. Sorry, I always do this. I know. How many Python libraries are there? Okay, it's pretty straightforward, right? 137,000. Wow. Well, okay. I'm a little bit, good thing I'm sitting down. I'm a little bit blown away. I thought there was like 10,000 or so. There's 137,000. I had no idea, man. I had no idea. 137,000 and over 237,000 Python packages. Wow. So my knowledge needs to be updated like literally immediately. I thought we're close to 10K. We have 137K. So there we go. I learned something new today. That's great. Learn something brand new. So, okay, I think this is downloaded now. Let me take a look. Should be downloaded. Let me shrink this down just a tad and go over here. So if I go to my download folder, I see this, and I can tell you, because I just looked at this briefly just before I hit the record button to start the video, this is the same thing, right? So Anaconda 24, 10.1, Windows 86, 64-bit, and 973.336 is the size. You look over here close, it's exactly the same size. Okay, so I actually have this one. I thought they might have had a newer one. They don't. I thought we had 10,000 Python packages and we have 137,000. So my information is a little bit outdated, sorry. So we're just gonna go with this, okay? I'm gonna install this, right click, run as administrator, and you'll see just how easy this is, okay? So we're about 4 minutes into the video because I tend to go on and on about all kinds of crazy stuff and tends to be sometimes senseless rhetoric and banter, but apologize in advance. I'll try to keep it as short as I can. I know I always say that in all the videos and I go over every time, sorry. So just click the just me recommended, just follow all these prompts, okay? So for me, recommended is this for all users, requires admin privileges. I don't think I've ever even used that, so I can't speak to that. I don't know what that does or what it doesn't do. Just follow the prompts. very straightforward. Directory Anaconda 3 is not empty. Okay, that's because I just deleted it and uninstalled it. So let me go ahead. You can do a couple of things if you're following exactly what I'm doing and you have this installed. You can go ahead and rename this. So this is a user, Ryan S. That's my last name, Ryan Schul, right? Okay, nice to meet you. So we go to users and Ryan S over here, and we'll see Anaconda 3, and it's not that one, right? Not with the dot in front of it. We have to look for the not dot. Okay, that rhymes. So not dot. Do I have this thing? Anaconda, I think I just saw something. Anaconda 3. Okay, so we can just rename this. Let me see how big this file is. I probably will end up deleting it, but I might just rename it just for now. So 500 megs. Okay. I'll just rename this to old. So it's just basically a precaution here. It's just saying this directory exists. Do you want to overwrite it? If you're installing pandas, then probably, but you could have some older files in there or projects that you were working on recently that you don't want to accidentally overwrite. If you're just not totally paying attention and click all the way through, you can cause a lot of damage, right? So it's just a friendly warning. Be careful. You're about to erase everything in that directory, right? It's better to be safe than sorry. So I just renamed it. I don't think I have anything important, but who knows, I might. I'll do the install to show you how everything works, and then I'll come back and check out the directory. If there's something important, I'll move it over. There's probably nothing there. Okay. So this is installing, and again, I just Googled it, got the 64-bit for Windows 11. That's what I'm using. So just user intuition here, Anaconda for Windows or Mac or whatever, it goes to the same place in this case, right? So if we switch back here, what can we do with Anaconda? There's over 1,500 packages. We just saw 137,000 libraries. Kind of blown away by that. But that's good to know. It's good to know. I have to update my knowledge base here. So why use Anaconda all-in-one solution? We'll see that in a couple of minutes. You really have some nice tools here. Spider, IDE, you have Jupyter Notebooks, Anaconda itself, which comes with 1,500 packages. If you're not that comfortable with it, you can actually click on the packages that you want. You don't have to do a pip install, which is pretty easy, but it's another layer of complexity. Maybe, if you're just getting started and it's a little bit overwhelming, you really need these things to be as easy as possible, right? So this gives you a graphical tool where you can install these packages. So that's pretty nice, I think. So all-in-one solution, environment management. Yep. Check the box for that. Cross-platform compatibility. Anaconda is available on Windows, Mac, and Linux. Okay, so whatever you develop, Windows, Mac OS, Linux, you can share it with the others, right? You develop one, you can share with the other two. Very easy. Anaconda allows you to create isolated environments. I don't know if I'll get into that, but it's basically just create environment and then the name of the environment. So you can create a whole bunch of VMs, virtual environments, if you're just testing some idea and you don't want to mess up your mission critical environment, or you have to install a new library, right? And you're not familiar with it and you don't know if the name could conflict with some other packages that you have installed. So same with new environment is advisable, right? In certain instances, you have a wide variety of tools and libraries saving you the hassle of installing them individually. That's nice. That's nice to have, right? User-friendly GUI, so graphical user interface, launch applications and perform package management without needing to use the command line. That is nice. When I started learning this stuff, that was great. Now I kind of warmed up to the command line a little bit, so not as necessary as it was when I was first getting going with this stuff. Community support, large user base, and active community. So that's nice too. Find help and resources for Anaconda easily, right? And there's all kinds of, if we go over here, what is this? I haven't even used this in a while. Coder rank, hacker rank. What was that? Totally forgot. Let me see. What was the name of this thing over here? Oh my god, I totally forgot. I think I have some shortcuts over here though. Let me see. I know I have some shortcuts here. Let me see what it is. Oh, I have it under Python actually. Oh, Stack Exchange. I can't believe I haven't used this thing in like a year, maybe two. Stack Exchange, the ACKEX. Python. You can go here, create an account for yourself, new Python questions, and you have all kinds of questions from people all over the world. So the user community is pretty robust and, pretty well up to speed on all kinds of things pertaining to Python. So here you can see I don't necessarily want that. You have over 2 million questions recently, and then all kinds of things that you can imagine. Python, transpose, data frame, a long format, or whatever, right? I'm just giving you one simple little example here. I'm a human. Oh, because I didn't log in. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Transpose into your A. I'm trying to demo it and it decides to go slow, right? Okay, nice. Your A and a data frame, a long format. That should work. Why am I getting no results? Okay. So here's some results, wide to long, long to wide. So you can scroll through here, right, and see how other people do this. When I first started learning, I would read these ad nauseum. Whenever I had some free time, would spend a good chunk of time over here just reading through these posts. I think it's very interesting. You can get a lot out of it and see what other people are doing and see what the trends are too. What are the more common questions? What types of issues do people have? What's the general consensus of the direction of Python or whatever. Right, you can see lots of good questions there. And then if you go back here, I think we saw over 2 million questions, right, in this whole repository. So it's pretty rich, pretty robust. It's a good chance they're going to have almost everything that you can think of, right? You just create a login over here or sign up. I guess this is the sign up thing. I haven't done this in a while. So you have that. This thing's still installing. Yeah, it's keeps going. I think we're getting close. So, and then what else? What was I going to say? Just ad-libbing here. Okay. Impromptu. Well, there's one other thing. I don't know. That's the big one, though. Stack Overflow is big for asking questions. And if you get good with Python over time for answering other people's questions, I found, personally, I learned a lot by helping other people with their questions, right? So that is something that might suit you. Once you get proficient with this stuff, if you help other people, it's going to inherently help yourself as well, right? Fill in some knowledge gaps or whatever the case is. So you have that. So Stack Overflow. Oh, yeah. So we were looking at this before, right? A few of the benefits of using Anaconda, all-in-one solution, environment management, cross-platform compatibility, user-friendly interface. Okay, check. Check the box 5 times. We're all set with that. It makes sense. Run the installer. Follow the wizard. Finish installation. It's really that easy, guys. It's like 3 steps here. I think I had 3 clicks, right? Maybe 4. Wasn't really counting, but it's pretty straightforward. Just use your intuition. You'll be all set. Here's for the Mac OS, Linux. I think those are actually even easier. Slightly different process, but I think it's pretty much the same thing, right? So what else? Anaconda Navigator. So this is what it looks like. We'll see this in just a moment when this is all set up and running. How are we doing over here? Show details. I guess we can get a little more insight here. We can see the details rather than just a green line. So a lot has been installed already. And still got a couple things that's cranking away on. Okay, so this is what the environment will look at when it's all done. We can launch Navigator. And by the way, when you get in here, you can, like I said, create different environments. You have a community here, learning resources. PyCharm is another great tool. I tend to use a lot of Spider IDEs for my work, but PyCharm is a great solution. So you can install that. That's in the upper left-hand corner, northwest part of the 6 rectangle image here. And Jupyter Labs, I use that a lot. Anaconda AI Navigator, I've never even used that. Maybe I have to take a look at that. That might be new. Okay, and Jupyter Notebooks, and then the Anaconda Toolbox. Okay, so quite a bit available to you. Here's the packages I was talking about. Now you can do a pip install if you're kind of old school or if you get used to it. I was forced to get used to it. I don't think they had these things when I first started learning this, so you would need to do pip install, just write that out, and then whatever kind of library you need. Pandas, NumPy, scikit-learn, those are pretty huge. A lot of people use those, but it could be anything, right? You just saw there was 137,000 different ones out there, so it's pretty overwhelming, pretty comprehensive. There's almost a package for just about anything you can imagine nowadays. And Python is a pretty mature technology, right? It's been around, I think. Let me see, when did Python come out? 25 years, I think. When was Python created? Release created? Let's say created, right? Because that was the original 91. Now it's 25. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anyone? Sorry for the math. 01, 11, 21, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 34 years. It was a little bit of a struggle there. Oh, almost to the day. Look at that. It's February 3rd. So we're coming up on February 20 pretty soon here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 20, 34 years. Okay, 33, going 34. It's getting mature. What else was I going to show you? There's something else. Oh, yeah. Most our programming languages. Like, I don't want to waste people's time. I'm just waiting for the thing to install. Otherwise, I wouldn't like beat you over the head with all of this obvious stuff that you can just do by yourself. But since I don't know how to edit a video and I can't just stop this thing and then restart it, so I'll just talk through it. Otherwise, we will both be bored. We'll be bored together. So to avoid that, let me just look at the most popular software development tools out there, or programming languages, whatever terminology or nomenclature you want to use. So we have Python, number one, clearly 23%, more than 2.5 times, almost 2.5 times C++. That's number two. Ampersand change from the previous year. I think that was the assumption, 9.32. So it's a big jump. This went up less than 1%, up 2%. C went down 2.5, 2.5. These probably moved over to Python, 1.43 for JavaScript, Go. SQL, 2.41%. Now, I wouldn't call that a programming language per se. Visual Basic, definitely. Fortran. Some of these are old school. Fortran has been around since, what, the 60s or something? MATLAB. So these take up 1% of the market share. Pretty tiny. Python is 23.2. You could round that up. Well, round down, I guess, 23%. By and far, the most common programming language here. I thought Java would be a little bit higher, and I thought C++ would be a little bit lower, and C# I thought would be higher. But that's fine. That's one person's take on this. You could look at a couple different sites. Clearly, Python dominates this list. You can look at another link. This is totally different from the other one. See if it shows up again. Oh, no. So now Python is ahead of C++. Java is ahead of C++. Python is still number one. And here's trending, so I haven't even seen this, right? So Python still number one, and then jobs. Actually SQL number one. Python is right on its heels, 9.8. So what does it one mean? I don't even know what that means. It doesn't matter, but Python pretty much dominates. So you make a good decision here, and you're going in the right direction when you pick this as a programming language, right? And we could even Google that. This thing is still going. So, sorry, this is out of my control. I don't control the install speed. Just talking here so you don't fall asleep. And then what was I going to Google? Programming languages. Oh, why is Python? Yeah, that's it. That's why Python so popular. And by the way, guys, I guess because I didn't edit this video, again, because I don't know how to do that, my apologies. One of these days I'll have to learn. I have some free time. So it's just installing. Like, all you have to do is a couple of clicks, follow the prompt. You could probably watch the first 5 minutes or 6 minutes of the video, skip to the last. You can skip all this in between steps right here, right? Because we're not even doing anything with the installer. It's just running in the background, just trying to keep you somewhat entertained so you don't close the video. But there is a method to the madness. We'll get to the end of this pretty soon here, and you'll see how easy it is to do the install and run a couple basic tasks just so you can see that it actually is installed. So why is Python popular? Okay, it's telling me because it's easy to learn language with a simple syntax. Okay, I knew that. Now you know it too. Making it making it accessible to beginners while still being powerful enough for simple applications. It's large and supportive community. Okay, we saw that in Stack Overflow. Offers a wide range of libraries and various fields like data science and machine learning. versatile enough to be used in web development, automation, scientific computing, making it a valuable tool across diverse industries. So ease of learning, versatility, extensive libraries, large community support. Okay, this is getting a little redundant. We know all this at this point. Open source nature, this is free, right? So it's hard to beat. The price is totally free. There's no charge. And it's powerful. Like, why would you not want that? It's like getting a free Lamborghini or a free Ferrari. Like, I think people would be lined up down the street and around the corner if those things were free, but they're not. But this is, right? Cross-platform compatibility. So you can create something in Windows, run it in Linux, run it in Apple, or vice versa. Doesn't matter, right? I think we saw this. I think we just saw this website a couple minutes ago. Is that the same one or what? No, it's actually a different one. That's scary. I don't like snakes. Python, I'll deal with it, but like typical like real snakes, I don't like them things. Popularity, yeah, it's very popular. We saw Java was probably number two. Data science and machine learning, web development, scientific computing. This right, the use case is kind of different for Java, right? So these two don't necessarily compete. I guess if you had both skills, you would be highly employable. But the need for technologists and for businesses is kind of different for Python and for Java, right? This is enterprise applications, so huge scale, massive, very dependable, fault tolerant web development. So you can do that with both. That's kind of cool. Mobile development, I knew that. So a lot of things on your cell phone are Java based, and gaming. That's cool. I don't know if I totally knew that. Maybe I kind of knew that in the back of my mind. Maybe, yeah. But what I do mostly is data science, machine learning, artificial intelligence, deep learning, things like that, a lot of financial things. So Python is stellar for all of these things I just mentioned. You really can't go wrong. Let's see what the install is like. Okay, still kind of chugging along. You can tell by that kind of like, how would you describe that? The green line that kind of shows progress, although I think it's artificial progress. It's not really moving to the side. It just gives you an illusion that it's moving. So let's just give that another couple minutes. Okay, and see what else. Why Python keeps growing. Why is popular? Why is Python popular? Okay, so I think we're coming full circle here. We've seen some of these things already. So Python is easy to learn. Active support community. Yep, we know it already. Flexible. Okay, I acknowledge that. Python offers versatile web development. Yep. Data science. Okay, we know that. Efficient, fast, reliable. Okay. Okay, duly noted. Python empowers custom automation. Yep. Python is an academic language and it's free and it's open source too. So, I mean, there's probably a dozen reasons why you should install Anaconda and get into Python. There's different IDEs. You saw PyCharm was one. You can get the old school, like the original IDE. That's pretty dated now. I totally wouldn't recommend that. I think Anaconda is the best. Out there. Okay, and it hits on all these things that we just saw a while over here too. So if you get the original IDE, let me see if I can even find that thing, but it's still around. All right. Idle, I think it's called Idle. I haven't used this thing in years. Idle Python. Okay, download Python. So there's another reason. So Python comes with Anaconda pre-installed, so you don't have to download it. You used to have to install these things separately, and you have to merge all these packages together. I don't think it's called a merge, but you'd have to like integrate all the packages together. So that was a little bit of a nuisance back in the day. Now it comes integrated. Where is Idle? I can't find it at all. Okay, I don't want to click on that. Sounds like I need some help, and it's not going to help us to learn anything if he's stuck with something. And we're not even doing that, right? Getting started with Python Idle. This might be it. This might be the original one. Something like that. It used to look like that. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember that. Oh my God, that was kind of scary too. And you couldn't even copy and paste back then. You had to type everything out or copy line by line. Ooh, we've come a long way since that time. So definitely Anaconda is the way to go. I will download. I'm not going to download that. That is going back in time, probably 15 to 20 years. And yeah, there's idle. Okay, so you have to, back in the day, you had to download these things separate, right? And then integrate everything and set up the system. It was like a whole process. But when you were done, just having gone through that routine would take hours. I've been kidding, probably 4 or 5 hours, six, if you kind of made a couple of mistakes along the way. It was definitely harrowing. It was not for the faint of heart. Um, but we've evolved to the point where this stuff is like literally 3 or 4 clicks, whatever I did to get here. And you can tell that this is mostly done, I think, based on the progress of that green bar there. I think we are going to wrap it up soon. But it's still doing a couple little things to tidy up, housekeeping things. Probably, I think most of it is installed. If I go down here, I'm sure I'll see the folder by now. So where did it go? Users, right? Then you go to your username. This is where it gets installed. And then if we click on this, it goes in alpha order, and we can see. I think I just skipped over it. Where is it? Anaconda 3 old. So there was the old one. And I made the change just when we started downloading this. That's why the time modified stamp looks like that. And that was what? A little over 500 meg, right? Properties, 509. And here's the new one. It's going to be pretty similar, probably less packages because it's brand new, right? Oh, and that is coming in at, what's more? Oh, over a gig? Okay, okay. You know, I might have cleaned out the other thing and purged a bunch of the bloated things in there for a while. I forgot. Anyways, you can see how it rates to this path, right? It gave me a warning message, so I had to change the path name over there. So that is fine. I think we're done. We have the next button. Anaconda has a nice little welcome message. Let's hit next. Launch Anaconda getting started. Let me keep both of those checked. I don't think it really matters. Okay, so you have this web page opening up. That's nice. I don't think I really need that. I don't need that. I think I'm done with this. Okay, now I have the real thing installed, so I am going to drop that thing and go over here, minimize that, minimize that. I don't need that, and I don't need that. So let me go look for Anaconda. It's going to be over here, or over here, right? Nope, the first one. Anaconda 3, okay, and this is what I like to do. It's total personal preference, so it's up to you guys what you want to do. I like to pull Spider over here because I use it all the time, so I'll put that right underneath Mongo. Again, personal preference. You do what you want to do, whatever makes you feel comfortable, go for it. And Anaconda prompt. Now, we don't need the PowerShell. We don't need Anaconda Navigator, and we don't need Jupyter Notebook. If you want, again, pull it over. It really depends on your personal preference and whatever you're trying to do there. But these are the two that I like to have on my taskbar, or whatever, the start bar, whatever this thing is called. What is this thing? Windows Explorer bar, I guess that's what it is. So I think Anaconda is launching right here. Let's just take a quick look at this thing. Okay, we're at 28 minutes into it. So took a little chunk of time, not too bad. Let me just do a couple quick things. Just we'll wrap this up pretty soon. So most of the time, probably 90% of the time, we're just waiting for the install, but I try to entertain you guys just a little bit, taking you through different URLs, right? What's the most popular programming tool? Python. We saw Stack Overflow. What is Python used for? We saw some good use cases: data science, machine learning, scientific computing, so on and so forth. Okay. I just want to see the Anaconda prompt start up, and you can see now here I should have it installed under my what is this? Programs and features, control panel. I think that's what's called, right? I don't even see it. I think I have to go back to control panel, so it has to be refreshed. Let me see, control. It has to be there, right? Because it's running. Control panel. Yep. Oops. Oh, damn it. Skipped that thing again. Okay. That's fine. That's fine. I know it's in there. Okay. And control panel. Boom. Got it. Okay. And if you go to programs and features, and it will be in alpha order right there. Okay. So obviously, if I'm using it, it's installed. So let me close out of this. Here's PyCharm. If you want to get that, go for it. It's another IDE. Very powerful. Great debugging tools. I prefer Spider. That's just my preference. But again, just a different flavor for using Python. Here's the Anaconda notebook. Here are different applications, environments. You can click on this. These are all the libraries that are pre-installed. I think I saw a message that said there's 1,500 pre-installed. Let me maximize this just a little bit here. So is this actually 1500? Going a little bit slow. There is a lag. Oh, I see. Okay, it's plugging into the base, and that's fine. So that's the root directory, right? And we go down here. Okay, so we can see all the things installed. So these are probably almost without doubt the most popular or most frequently used libraries. So these come pre-installed. If you just got the old version of Python originally, nothing was installed, right? So you had to do all of this. So it's nice that they give that to you. They know what you want, they know what you need, and they just prepackage that into that environment for you. So that was it. If you need anything else, you can go to pandas, whatever environment you're looking for, and search. I think this is it. It says installed, not installed, updatable. Wait, let me see that. Maybe this changed. I haven't used this in a long time. Pandas, NumPy. It's pretty popular, right? But why is it not coming up here? Do I have it? I guess I have it. So it's in alpha order. If I go back to N and UM, there's pandas right there. Okay. If you didn't have it, you could certainly install it, but it's already installed, so we'll leave it as is. There's NumPy. So this shows installed. Oh, I think it's not installed, right? So if I go over here at Plotly, it's probably not installed. If I search for that, oh, here. Okay, so these are all the libraries, right? So if you go down here, so we'll use Plotly in just a minute. PQRP. So here's all the our libraries, right? This is Python and R integrated now. I just use Python, so kind of like disregard all the R stuff. I used to use R, but not these days, not anymore. So P, where I go all the way up here. Wow. Oh, because there's so many of the PQR Plotly. PQR. I think it's our Pepsi. There's a library for Pepsi. Wow. PHIJKL. Poetry. Okay. I don't think I need poetry, but that's nice to have. Okay. Plotly, and then if we go to all, you know, I thought you could just search for the thing and it would give it to you over here, but I'm not seeing it now. Oh, that's to create a new environment. Okay, I don't want to do that. That's like a whole nother lesson over there. Sorry, guys. But you can, if you want to install this library right here, you would just click on it and you can see the download arrow. This is going to download. I'm not going to install these, but you just pick the one you want and download the library, or hit apply down here in the lower right in the southwest corner of the screen, and it's going to apply. So you don't have to use a pip install. I tend to use a lot of pip installs because I just got used to it over time. But when you're just starting out with it, Anaconda is nice because you can just click and look for what you need, and it's going to do the install for you, right? So almost can't even make a mistake. Let's just test this setup to make sure everything is up and running. Then I'll end the video. It actually took a little bit longer than I thought. But you know what? That's always the way. I always think these things are going to go faster than they actually do. So I think it is running. Did I actually click that or not click it? I thought I clicked it. I'm going to Spider. Remember, I dragged that in from over here. If you go to Programs and Anaconda, over here, you'll see Spider, click, drag and drop over here, and Anaconda prompt, click and drag and drop. And I just tend to do that. I like that setup, so I have it one click away. And I want to show you just a couple little demos here just to make sure Anaconda is working, because right now, if I look at it, I can't tell, right? I mean, I saw it in the control panel, but how do we actually test this and prove that it works? Well, we could take it for a test drive. We could do that. So Spider is launching right now. It's starting up, and it is giving me a view that I had last time because I didn't totally uninstall this. It's smart enough. It goes back to my directory. It kind of syncs those directories like I saw before. So when you start this up, if it's the first time, you're not going to see this. This is some code I had that I was testing a few days ago. So this has evolved to the point right now it's highly intelligent. It knows what you want, probably before you even know what you want, right? It used to be a lot more integration, settings and controls and configuring and testing. Does this work? Does it not work? Why not? It would take hours to get this set up. Now you can see start to finish, even with myself rambling on and on ad nauseum, everything is done in 35 minutes, right? And a lot of that was just Googling for Stack Overflow and why is Python so popular. So if I select this and hit F9, we should see it run, and we see the code run. We got this message over here, and here's the plot. Okay, so everything works, right? 35 minutes end to end, everything works. There's the first graph. Just wanted to show you some graphing capabilities. If you have graphs, then everything else is going to work. I always test the graphs because everything is so integrated. Like if one thing works, everything else is going to work too. I don't want this. Okay, so it's telling you there's a new version available. If you want that, you can get it. I don't want that right now, but thanks for the heads up. Okay, so let me copy this, and it shows you an image of what we're going to see when we run it. And this is still running. Okay, print hello. Okay, that's a message for me. So F9 to run it. Okay, and it prints, so everything is working. One more test. I know we don't have to do this because we already saw it. Control F9, run it, and we have the chart. Okay, so everything works in Spider. Let's test Plotly real quick. We can create some very cool interactive dynamic plots and charts that we can play around with. So let me go over here. I am going to start my Jupyter Notebook, go to Anaconda prompt, and go to Jupyter Notebook, Jupyter. Okay, enter, and it's going to launch Jupyter Notebook. Again, very easy, very straightforward. This used to be just a battle when you installed Python. Oh my god, you had so many different like little gotchas and, well, what if this happens, what if that happens, and some misconfiguration, allocation. Oh my god, it was just never ending. But now it's actually pleasant, even delightful to do these installs, believe it or not. So we've made a lot of progress, come a long ways here. So here is my Jupyter Notebook IDE. You saw Spider, there's Spider. And by the way, Spider will work in Jupyter, right? If I copy and paste this to Jupyter Notebook, that will work. But it doesn't go the other way around. It doesn't go from Jupyter to Spider necessarily when you're dealing with any kind of interactive graph or chart or control or drop-down widget or things like that. I mean, a lot of the things that work in Jupyter will work in Spider. Not all of them. All the things that work in Spider will work in Jupyter. Okay, they all will work. So let me just create a new notebook right here. This will be fast, I promise. We're 37 minutes into the video. I'll wrap it up in just a minute. So you saw this running in Spider. Control A, F9 to run it. Oh, actually, we're in the notebook. This is just Control Enter to run it. Control Enter. You can see the asterisk spinning right there. That means it's working. Go down here. You see the chart. Boom. That's what I want. So I get exactly what I would expect. Let me look at one more example over here. And this graph, oops, that's not the one I want. Where's that other one? Here. I think this is it. And that's not it either. Where was the other thing that I had? Or is that thing? Oh, here. Oh, here. Box plot. Okay, I wanted to get these box plots just to give you a quick demo of the interactive capabilities of these charts. I use these plots all the time. Data, DF tips. So look at this. Just with a few lines of code, we can create an interactive box plot based on this data. So if I print it here, I see the SPL display data frame, and it's running. I will rerun this in just a minute. So here's our data. This is the data frame. We load this in. X is going to be the horizontal axis. Y is the vertical, right? So Y is usually the number. X will be usually time. A lot of times it's time variables, but not always, right? But just think about how you want to plot this. You could flip the X and Y axes, but usually it's set that way for a specific reason. It's more intuitive, I think, to see the dates on the horizontal and then the numbers on the vertical, right? Then this is the thing I like. So you can mouse over this. You see this is the max. Total bill, $48.17. The min bill was the mean Sunday. This is the date. Do they give me a mean, median? Oh, they give you the quartile. So quartile 1, 14.25. Minimum, 8.7. Upper fence, I'm not even sure what the fence is. Q3, so that's the third quartile. The medium is 18.43. So I think this is bills for customers at the restaurant. 48.17 is the max. And the min is 8.77. The guy probably got coffee and hash brown or something. And this guy splurged, spent $48. But I love these charts because you can zoom in, see all kinds of details, right, about the smoker, non-smoker. So in this case, non-smokers tend to spend a little bit more money at the restaurant, I guess. Double click to get back to the original view, and so on and so forth. And then let me just print the data frame. So this is what the data frame looks like. When I put this display, that comes out. But you'll see, because this is an interactive chart, this is not going to work in Spider. This works because Matplotlib is an older technology. It was built around the time that Spider was built, I guess. So this has to be print. So I think we'll print the data frame, but we don't see anything displayed unless they just updated that, and I doubt it. So you see the data frame displayed, yeah, so there's no image displayed. That was the other one. So if you want dynamic charts and graphs, you have to use Jupyter Notebook. If you're fine with Matplotlib or Seaborn, Seaborn is another great library. You can use that for your plotting and charting needs. This is a good link. I'd recommend that. That's the home for Plotly home landing page, I guess it's called. And if you go to Seaborn in Python, there, second one, you'll have all kinds of visual renderings of Seaborn plots. Wait, that's not the main one. Sorry, where's Seaborn statistical visualization? I thought there was, gallery. I think it's called gallery. Okay, so they give you a bunch of samples over here, and then you can look at heat maps, right, and so on and so forth. So Seaborn and Matplotlib will work in Spider. Plotly will not, but all of these will work in, Plotly will not work in Spider. Seaborn, Matplotlib will. Plotly will work in Jupyter Notebooks, and Seaborn and Matplotlib will work as well, too. So, wait, why am I not seeing that one? It did that, right? Seaborn. Oh, wait, does it need a library or something? Yeah, I probably have to restart. Okay, well, I probably have to reboot the machine. Something doesn't look like it's working exactly the way I expected it to. Something looks a little bit off, but whatever. Control Enter. Let's see if it works over here. If not, I'll have to restart. Okay, so it's working over here. Yeah, this might have some kind of animated element to it. So it does work in Jupyter, but doesn't work in Spider. That's fine. Anyways, the whole video was about installing Anaconda. You have Spider, you have Jupyter, you have PyCharm. If you want to install PyCharm, that's another great IDE. Maybe don't go crazy at the beginning if you're just getting up to speed with this, or if you're new to this stuff. Just take it step by step, one step at a time, baby steps to start with. And then when you graduate, you get more and more advanced and get your diploma and move on to the next stage of learning. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to wrap up the video. Thank you so much for your time today. Thanks for sticking through with me right straight to the end of this thing. It dragged on a little bit longer than I thought, but you know what? With most things in life, you get out of it what you put into it. You put in more, you get more. Put in less, and you get less. So that's it, guys. How to install Anaconda in your Windows system. And if you have Apple, what's it called? Mac. If you have a Mac or a Linux, then just follow the instructions there, and it should be just as straightforward. It might actually be easier. Okay. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.